was born in the central part of Kenya, around Mount Kenya, in a very, very poor, very humble family. And as I grew up, my life was completely transformed when I realized that my parents had to sell the only cow that we had, which was a source of income and a source of milk, so that they could get its school fees to take me to high school. And that made me think a little bit and come into contact with the little struggles of bringing up a child from this family. And so the cow was being sold to pay school fees, buy me a Bible, and buy me a shoe. So at age 18, I was able to put on the first shoe, get the first Bible, and join high school. And I wanted to understand why the Bible was so important. In the process of trying to read the Bible, it raised more questions to me, and I got convicted. But there were no people, there were no Christians in the area to answer my questions. So one day I got an opportunity to walk for 3 days to go and find out what the gospel is about, what salvation message is about, and I gave my life to Jesus. And from that point, it became a turning point in my life. I had two areas that I wanted to change the lives of people. One, I wanted to change the area of people so that nobody will have to walk for 3 days again, like I did, to find out about the message of salvation. So I ended up having a big passion for evangelism, which later on turned out to be the reason for starting GOA. Secondly, I did not want to see a child without a pair of shoes, like the way I grew. And therefore, I decided I was going to take care of the orphans. So when I graduated from college, I got posted, or I got a job in an area where there were great needs of both of those two needs. There was need for a church, and so I started Glory Outreach Assembly, and there was need for caring for the orphans, and I would challenge the church. Some members would give the food, others would cook that food, others would take it to Naivasha town and feed the street children as they pray for them and encourage them. Eventually, one boy by the name Boniface decided to hang on my car and said he was to go with me to the home where I was coming from. I was not prepared, but I took him in. And the story continued, that every time I went to the street, there were more children who wanted to come with me home. Finally, I ended up having 26 children in our little house, which we were already paying the loan from the teachers' circle or the teachers' cooperative. We were paying the loan for the land. We were paying the loan for that house. It was a little tiny house. In our living room, we had 26 children sleeping there during the night. And during the day, that would be the living room. Then that became too small, and we again expanded to our car garage. And then the rest of the children continued sleeping there, and we were still bringing in and in. After some time, there was no more space, and there were still more children coming. So we prayed that God may give us land for the orphanage. And God saw our stewardship of our little house, our stewardship of our small piece of land, and He gave us 5 acres. And in the 5 acres, we built 2 Mine Children's Home. We built a GOA Educational Center, elementary, and GOA High School. And again, that became too small. And so we had a challenge of food security. It was at that point that a Child Hope International came in and helped us to buy 2 acres of land, where the children now are able to produce the food, and they're able to work and learn the skills of farming. But we also realized that we had special needs children who would not be brought up in the same, and therefore we, in the Rift Valley, called Beat the Drum for those who are HIV positive children, where we take care of their medication, we feed them properly, we connect them with the nearby Kijabe Hospital, just to provide good care. And by the grace of God, we have had some of the most healthy children there, even though they are still on medication. And in Naivasha, where we started, there was still need for more children to be taken care of. And we built Strong Tower Children's Home, which is the nearest the Naivasha street. And we've continued to take care of the children there. And out of that, some of those children grew a passion for farming, like Joseph, who decided to go to do agribusiness in the university. And he requested us to help him get a place where he could exercise his training. So we bought 8 acres of Githurai land, where by the help again of a Child Hope International, we were able to place Joseph there, where he started working on the farm and producing the food security, and where he raised his family. And then we were on the road to food security. The 8 acres of land in Githurai are likely to be a solution to our food security. And it has all the potential of producing enough food for us to feed our children in the nearby homes, and also to sell some and be able to buy other types of food. The only obstacle we have is water. Currently, the farming in these 8 acres of land depends on the rainwater and the water that from a dam, that small dam that we have dug. But that dam also depends on the rainwater. So if it doesn't rain, then there's no way of growing the crops. But the solution, the only obstacle we have can be solved by a borehole. Drilling a borehole. If we're able to drill a borehole, that will be a solution to the food security challenge in that land. It is the only obstacle that stands between us and food security. So we can do irrigation in the 8 acres of land, and we can produce food throughout the year, which means that we can be able to feed our children, we can be able to sell part of the food and buy other things, and also we can deploy some of those resources into the community according to the new reforms by the government. The cost of drilling a borehole is $37,000 US, and there has been our prayer that the Lord may provide that amount.